The Governor of the Reserve Bank has warned there's more pain on the horizon for borrowers, urging Australians to prepare for higher interest rates. Speaking at a business event in Sydney, Philip Lowe says inflationary pressures within Australia are of particular concern rather than global factors. But he's played down the likelihood of a recession anytime soon. Now, Sue Lannan joins us in the studio now. Sue, the Governor is confident that Australia will avoid a recession.
Yes, but of course it's very hard to make economic forecasts. As it said, that economic forecasters are there to make weather forecasters look good, and the RBA itself has made previous mistakes. For example, how long the COVID pandemic recession would last. But he said in a speech this morning to the American Chamber of Commerce, he did not see a recession at the moment coming up in Australia. He doesn't see it on the horizon. Sorry, I've got a bit of something in my throat. So let's have a listen to what Philip Lowe had to say.
I don't see a recession on the horizon here. Right at the moment, the unemployment rate's the lowest in 50 years. The participation rate's the highest ever. More working age Australians have jobs than ever before. The number of job vacancies is at a record high. Households have strong balance sheets. Our terms of trade, so this is the price of our export prices relative to import prices, are at the highest ever.
So, Sue, he still expects inflation to hit 7%.
Yes, he said that there are big international factors such as the war in Ukraine. There's the global supply chain squeeze, which has been really pushing up the costs of goods and services. So he doesn't see inflation abating yet. It will take some time for the interest rate rises to work. We just had a big 0.5 percentage point rise just last week or the week before to 0.85%. There's more rate rises on the horizon. He said, rates could well reach obviously more than 1% by the end of the year. They could even go up to 2.5%. He sees inflation at 7% at the end of the year. So borrowers are being warned more rate rises to come.
He also addressed this reputational damage that the RBA has suffered. What do you have to say about that?
Yes, so this reputational damage is because some of the forecasts the bank has made, but specifically Dr. Philip Lowe and the whole RBA board constantly said that they did not see interest rates rising until 2024. Now, it's very hard to make economic forecasts. We had the big pandemic, hundreds of billions of dollars pumped into the economy by the Reserve Bank and the federal government, and that basically kept the economy afloat. So it recovered much more than it was expected. But that created a global supply chain squeeze, all of the money all around the world being pumped into the economies. You had a big, massive slowdown. Companies, shipping lines stopped producing as much and working as much. So many workers laid off. And then all this pent-up demand came back all around the world, not just in Australia, because of the global supply chain squeeze. And interest rates are at record lows to boost the economies all around the world, to save the economy from the COVID pandemic. But everything has bounced back more quickly, and the war in Ukraine has thrown a spanner in the works. It has seen massive rises in commodity prices, energy prices, which is one of the reasons why we're having this gas crisis. And that has changed the entire equation. So as a result of that, the Reserve Bank had to suddenly change its economic forecasts and lift interest rates. We also saw in the Federal Reserve, the US Central Bank, saying this inflation was temporary. They've also had to quickly backtrack. So the bank has suffered reputational damage. Dr. Lowe has said he's embarrassed because he told borrowers interest rates, the bank did not see interest rates rising until 2024. And that is a big problem. Some people did get into the market last year with record high prices, even though borrowing costs were extremely cheap at record lows. So yes, it is reputational damage. Let's have a listen to what he had to say.
As part of its review, the board has agreed to strengthen its scenario analysis in future decision making. It also recognises that the way the target ended in late 2020 was disorderly, and it did cause some reputational damage to the RBA. We accept that earlier communication from the bank could have eased the situation, although the end of a target that was losing credibility was always likely to be associated with some volatility in market prices.